in it. They're going to be side by side coming down, and it's going to be Caleb Hall taking it. Hello everyone and welcome to HVMP's live coverage of the I've Got Ballz 250 here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Cars are already starting to get on grid now, so we'll take you down so you can meet the drivers who will be competing in today's race. Alongside of me is Brandon Lambert. He'll be providing supplementary commentary for today's race. Brandon, what do you expect here before we go through the grid? What do you expect to see in this type of race like this?
Well, we got a bunch of cars at a pretty much narrow super speedway with bumps in the corners, especially on the bottom. So I expect good racing, but big wrecks.
And I pretty much agree there. Super speedway racing always really exciting, really close together. Cars got to be right up on each other to draft, be able to stay, going and not fall back behind, fall behind the other drivers. Draft comes in a huge play. You can't tandem now with the way iRacing has its rules, which is a little bit different. It's a little bit different from when I last ran iRacing, because before you push on the guy in front of you, it'd be bumper to bumper, tandeming all the way around the racetrack. So anyways, we'll bring you on down here to our leader, which I believe is Adam Gilliland there in the 8, followed by 47 of Chris Overland. As our cameras are not cooperating with us and are going by alphabetical order, but that's all right. I can tell you on the front row is the 8 of Adam Gilliland, and aha, there we go. No, that's not right either. Well, anyways, we'll get you that when we go green. As drivers are heading down the back straightaway to take the green flag. As we'll get you focused on the leader here. Again, the leader is the 8 of Adam Gilliland in that Gary Mercer trucking machine. Next to him is the 47 of Chris Overland. Both of those drivers are pro drivers. You can tell that by the license, or the way iRacing has their licensing system set up. As pace car is going to take its last couple hundred feet on the racing surface before we go down to the green. Pace car dives off. Adam Gilliland getting ready to take the field down to green. And green flag is in the air. Adam Gilliland with a great start. Chris Overland on the outside. It looks like the 8's going to pull up and get the draft of the 47 there. Now he's going to pull back down to the bottom of the racetrack. 16 and the 35 working together. They're going to try to muscle their way. They're going to maybe push the 8 there. Not much place to go there with the 47 up top. And again, these cars are very spread out. Nose to tail, that is, as you see a little bit of leaning on each other in the corner there. But for the most part, you can't tandem, you can't push these guys long, or you risk blowing up your engine. To lead lap number 1 is going to be the 8 of Adam Gilliland. We go down into corner number 1. It's the 8 and the 47 side by side. That's Adam Gilliland and Chris Overland. Behind them is the 60 and the 52. It's like the 8 car. Gonna pull down low. Let everyone by. As to the point, Chris Overland. He assumes the lead through corners 3 and 4, but there's 2 hungry drivers right behind him. Adam Gilliland up top, they're side by side. 16's wanting to make it 3 wide or something like that. He doesn't want to get behind the 47 and risk blowing up. But nonetheless, he retains the lead here on lap number 2. We see the 35 drop back. They're 3 wide now.
That was almost disaster right there.
Yes, it
4
was.
wide on the backstretch, and somebody just not being patient.
And you know, 4 wide, even though this track is large enough for it, it's not like last year where these guys were running Talladega. You know, there's room for it, but you can't really. It's not like Talladega where it's wide and open. It's a little bumpy. This is bumpy Daytona, so you got to remember these guys are holding on for dear life. It's hard to believe that we used to do this back in the day in iRacing, but nonetheless, we're back here under the same track conditions with the old bumpy Daytona, and 4 wide when you're bumping around just isn't ideal.
It's not a great idea at all.
So we've got the number 16 of, who is that? I will learn names here.
It's Luke Crutchfield.
Luke Crutchfield in the 16. Trying to challenge Chris Overland for the lead. But he's going to get blocked. Chris Overland down to the bottom line. He's the maestro of the 2 lanes. Trying to keep both lanes behind him and retain his lead. And he's doing a pretty good job of it. As the top line starting to go back about 3 car lengths there. That's a slow car that they're going to be coming up on. Watch for that here in a couple of laps. 16 down to the bottom. He's going to be able to take the lead over. Along with the car behind him, that's the 0-1. So Luke Crutchfield to the lead, 0-1 of Justin Bolton. I go up to that high side, kind of slow them down. Maybe slow the bottom line down too as he takes the lead. So on lap number 5 here. 0-1 to Justin Bolton is your leader. Again, we're coming up on that lap car. It'll be interesting to see just exactly how badly that lap car is going to affect these leaders here. As these leaders,
depends on where they catch them. If they catch them in a corner, it might get a little hectic backstretch, or somewhere around the trial might be a little bit better. But trial was kind of tricky here though too. So if they catch them anywhere other than the backstretch, it's going to get a little hectic.
That's true. It's going to be a crapshoot here. Looks like maybe if that lap car is slow enough, they might be able to catch him on the back straightaway. He might be able to duck low. We'll see. He's making his attentions up top as of now. And we'll see him pan into focus here.
That's the best place for him to stay is up top.
And up top, looks like they're not going to catch him on the backstretch. Still 2x2 in the lead pack here. As they come up on the 06 lap car. Looks like our leaders are going to make it past him. A little bit of breathing room now for the 06. Maybe to duck on back and catch the draft. So long as his car isn't too badly damaged, he should be able to hold it together and stay with this main draft here. And Brandon, we've got a couple of different packs going here. We've got the first pack, which is obviously the biggest pack. A lot of fast cars up in there. And then, oh, is the
16 is around. So
16 around. Oh, we got a huge wreck on the backstretch. Multiple cars involved. As we'll get you a replay here. See what exactly happened. That was calamity there, it looks like. It's Luke Crutchfield This went around. It was a chain reaction after that. That's the 66 spinning down towards the inside. Relatively clean wreck. It looks like most of the people were able to avoid him just all right. We'll take another look at that.
Looks like the 16 got some help in the middle of 2 there. Got him a little loose, put him down on the apron, spun him around.
Well, looks like the 16 is on the bottom line, kind of hit a bump, and it looks like it upset his car, brought him into the middle line, and then, yeah, he just got help, got hit in the back there and turned around. So, unfortunate for him. This is our friends at FTR TV providing the graphics set for this race. Thank you guys, appreciate it. So back up front continues to be the 0-1 of Justin Bolton.
Yeah, the 16 definitely got some help from the 0-7. Looks like the 0-7 just, he caught him in the middle of the corner and just decided not to, just not to lift.
That was a tough break for sure. Although it looks like cars aren't too damaged. As the 0-1 files down on the pit road. It looks like everyone else is going to follow him. We see cars going down, getting ready to get serviced. We'll look at our pit stop times here as we watch our race out of pit road. If we're going to be able to. There's your leader, Justin Bolton. He's going to come out way back in the pack there.
A little bit of early strategy here. Got some people taking 2, some people taking 4. Some people getting some damage fixed here, like the number 47.
Looks like out of our top 5 that last time around, it's the 41 of Max Dahlgren, the 52 of Corey Heffley, Matt Sanders, and Tyler Head. All those drivers electing to take those 2 tires. Be interesting to see what that does for them. Obviously, not too worried this stage in the game. We've only run, what, 9 laps of 100. So, shouldn't be any worry as far as tire wear, but you never know. We'll have to see how that strategy works out, if it's a good strategy or bad. Sure, bumpy Daytona eats up tires a little bit more than the smoother counterpart here.
Oh, most definitely. And the tires are bouncing up and down and all around, and this asphalt's not kind to them at all.
It's one thing to watch out for sure.
Tonight.
Yeah, watch these guys who took 2 tires to return down to pit road later in the race and make 4 tires. Maybe their strategy will reverse, as we see the 8 strategy reverse there. He's headed down towards pit road and decided at the last minute not to. So as we cycle back around, it looks like it's going to be the 2 of Jeff Ramsdale, I believe.
That is correct. We've already got a car out on the track. He's looks like he's out of pit road, but it's number 13 of Timmy Pacioli. He has no more front bumper and a pretty good damaged hood, so I don't expect him to be any kind of contender the rest of the race.
Yeah, Timmy took a pretty hard lick in that last wreck. As one of the unfortunate. He was on the on the wrong end of that for sure.
Yeah, with this track, there's not a whole lot of room to go. This track can hold 3 wide, pretty It can hold pretty 3 wide if you're crazy enough to do it, but 4 wide is stupid, and you do not want to do that. It's just going to cause a wreck. And when cars start spinning around, there's not a whole lot of place to go unless you're on the backstretch where that big asphalt patch. But if you're in a in the corner down the tri-oval, there's not a whole lot of room to go. You just got to find a hole and hope you make it through.
And that's kind of the characteristics of pack racing in general. I mean, you're so packed in tight next to the driver, that you're competing with, and if there's any error whatsoever, and it's not, side by side, nose to tail, everything's good, then definitely some sheet metal is going to get bent up when people try to get out of the way.
Oh, most definitely.
So I believe we're going to come around and get the one to go this time. Jeff Ramsdell, your leader. That's Matt Sanders. In second, Corey Heffley. In third, Matt Stalknet in fourth. And Chris DiPierto is in fifth. So I thought I'd let you guys know that there's a prize up for grabs. I'll let you guys know what that is in a minute, because I forget. But there is a prize. You let Brandon Lambert here know why you deserve to get this prize. Come up with a good enough reason. We might just pass it along your way. So make sure to get active in that chat. And make things interesting for yourselves instead of just listening to us talk, because
We're not all that interesting.
yeah, it's more about the race than anything. And I know you guys are probably going to start talking trash here the more wrecks that happen, so go right ahead and probably talk some more trash about my commentary. But
well, I'm getting some pretty good trash from my Solstice Racing League boys. They're making fun of me with my color commentary here, so shout out the Solstice boys for making fun of me.
Shout out to him. Leave his accent alone. He's that's his type of racing here. It's for Southern people. Also, a little bit of prize money headed towards our winner here. $15 to the winner, and a copy of Age of Empires 2, which is what we're going to be giving to you guys. Actually, it's a choice between that, Grand Theft Auto 4, or Civilization 5. So the winner will need Steam, and a couple of other goodies along the way here that I'll let you guys know in a bit under our next caution break. But no time for that, as the field comes down around through the tri-oval to take the green here on lap number 11. Pretty even start between the front two. Jeff Ramsdell and Matt Sanders are racing down into corner number 1. Matt Sanders going up a little bit high. Now he's going to bring it back down low. Jeff Ramsdell with a clear advantage into corner number 1. Will the 9 fill the gap? No, he won't. The 52 of Corey Heffley will suck up to the back bumper of the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell. 45 of Chris Pierto follows in as the third car on the bottom. Up top we have the 9 of Matt Sanders, who's going to move down to the bottom with the 41 of Mac Staltnick. Now Matt goes back up to the top. So put Matt Sanders to the lead now. And let the 2 and the 41 battle it out as the 2 goes low. 9's committed to the high side. At the line, it's going to be the 9. No, excuse me, the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell, just barely. The gap between them was 0-0. So, we come down out of corner number 2 now. It's going to be the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell with a slight advantage on that bottom line over the high line that's being led by Matt Sanders. But they're even going into corner number 3. Their nose to tail. This is about as close as you can get without starting to warm the engines up. Might see a couple of those guys have to breathe. It looks like the 41 playing it smart, getting a little bit of breathing room. That's going to allow the bottom line with Jeff Ramsdell leading it to lead coming across the line. And into corner number 1, the high line is starting to dissolve there as we see people trying to pass under each other. That's Adam Gilliland that's left out to dry. He finds a spot to return it now. He's going to try the low side.
He looks a little antsy to get back up to the front, and he looks like he doesn't like being in the middle of the pack. He's going high and low, and he's making it work. Let's see what he can do when he gets there.
Adam Gilliland just trying to gain any ground that he can. As you see him serpentine from the top to the bottom. But holding his own lane on the bottom. That's Jeff Ramsdale. He's going to come by and lead lap number 15 of 100. So 15 laps in the books now. We got a car on the apron. It's the 52 of Corey Heffley. He gets back up there with no issue.
He's been pretty close to the rear bumper, that number 2, so you're probably just getting some air down there.
Has getting some air. Adam Gilliland all the way down to the grass. Gonna bring it back up without losing too many spots, losing too much momentum. Nonetheless, grass not the ultimate line at Daytona down the backstretch. Justin Bolton looking to challenge the 2 of Jeff Ramsdale on the high side. Jeff Ramsdale moves up a little bit. They're side drafting off each other. It's going to be Jeff Ramsdale just barely at the line.
The 2 can thank that 52 for keeping him in the lead right now. He's all over the back end of that car.
As it's pretty much the I'd say the top 20 here under a blanket. Actually, maybe the top 27. Was 40 cars in today's race that started. Unfortunately, Tyler Hill, Malik Ray, Triffin Davis, and Timmy Pacioli are today's retirements. Brian Green is your last driver in 37th, now 36th, 4 laps down. At the point, it continues to be Jeff Ramsdale, followed by Justin Bolton. Oh, as the 52, Corey Heffley peeking out just a little bit on the back stretch. That's going to allow the high side to get a little bit more momentum. Justin Bolton's coming. We see maybe the bottom line getting a little bit better advantage through the tri-oval. It's going to be Jeff Ramsdale leading another lap. That's his 6th and 7th lap that he's led. The only person to lead the closest laps to him is that guy who he's racing with, Justin Bolton, on the outside. Is down to get a little bit more air is the 52.
I see a very high third line forming up here. Back about the 10th position, the 47, number 8. They're pushing the limit, and I think the 8 just got in the wall because of it.
Yeah, I think we just spoke too soon, but they're going 3 wide nonetheless. Car on the apron. Now 2 wide. That kind of killed that third line's momentum, but Chris Overland was able to catch that in time, pull back down into the second groove, the middle groove there, and we said sayonara. Oh, it's don't go 3 wide, don't go 3 wide. Oh, Overland's in the middle. We got a car on the outside. What is that? This is 68. Gonna try to make something happen up top. Oh, as they're pinching each other. 9's around. Hard upside down is the 9 car. More cars collected in the back. As all sorts of carnage. There's the 06, the 88. Whole bunch of drivers involved in that one. As 9 has to retire. Wow, let's take a look at that replay.
Three wide does not work here at Daytona with bumps. We said it before the broadcast, and I'll say it again.
Hey, just got to make sure you give others room. That's what it looked like. Let's get it up here on our monitors so we can see. Yeah, we saw the 88 duck out to the high side. I was wondering how that was going to work. And then we just see, yeah, just the 88 kind of drifted down because of the bumps. Got into the 4 and got into the 9, and everything just started going around. From there, see a lot of good cars getting torn up. But for the most part, drivers doing a pretty good job of avoiding all that carnage. So kudos to them. We come back
Looks
live
like the 88
now.
got the worst of it there, 88 and the 9.
For sure, those two drivers, not what they were looking for. But something these guys are looking for as they come down pit road are some fresh tires and fuel. Pull our pit stop times up here. You see Jeff Ramsdell, fuel only. Oh, it gets tight. Coming out of pit road, but he avoids incident. It looks like first out of pit road be Jeff Ramsdell. You see him with an 8.3 second stop. Corey Heffley in the 52 with another great stop. Chris Overland, Matt Stalknet, all with good pit stops. Guys who are taking a little bit extra time in pit road are the 45 of Chris DiPierto, Tyler Head, the 23-second pit stop. Those guys a little bit slower on pit road than maybe they would have liked. I believe we had a driver stay out even. That's the 12 of Cody Dutton. Let's look at a few more pit stop times. There's Zach Duncan with a terrible stop. That's 25 seconds on that machine. John Sterling taking 4 tires. Excellent 4-tire stop on his machine. Nick DePalma looks like he took 2 tires. In a little bit of track position. DePalma went from the 21st position and is now in the 13th position. Matt Sanders looks like it's just a stop and go for him. Same with Timmy Pacioli. So that's that. 21 laps complete of 100. Your leader, Cody Dutton, might be looking to get in track position. Maybe just get a little bit of fresh air up the front before he goes down and makes a pit stop. A couple of drivers thinking about going down pit road for another time, and I promised you guys I would, yes, as the 12 is pitting, so that's going to put Jeff Ramsdell to the lead. And like I was saying before that last restart, there are some goody-goody prizes awarded to various people in the race. Like I said, $15 to the winner and a copy of Age of Empires 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, and Civilization 5. And then $5 to the winner with the least amount of incidents that finishes on the lead lap. We'll have to wait till the end of the race to see that one. 2 $5 credits will be given out to random drivers if we have less than 4 cautions, which I believe we have 2 cautions for 6 laps. So as long as this thing gets a couple more green flag runs in, that might look a little safer. The time being, not so much. If you were hoping for that prize, might want to look somewhere else. And then 2 games the winner doesn't choose will be distributed at random to 2 drivers that finish in the top 20. So maybe we can get you a copy of that. We'll see, maybe we'll, just after halfway, we'll hand a copy of that out. By the way, if you guys like our stream, make sure to share it to your Facebook friends, tweet it, text people, call people. Make sure they're watching the race. Actually, you know what? I might make a phone call here. Just make sure my buddies are watching the race, because I know that's what I'd be doing if I was watching. We'll see. We're gonna ring someone up here. See if they answer.
I'm sorry, but the
No, you're not. Anyways, I didn't expect him to answer anyways. He's been ignoring my calls all day. But, nice thing about this is the entire full-length archive of this will be available on our YouTube page at any time for anyone to watch. So make sure you watch it. Make sure you share it to your friends if you're in the race and you're just watching it now. Yeah, send it to all your friends. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/HVMP01. You guys aren't watching it on our YouTube. I don't know how you're a wizard, but if you are, then I know for sure that there is a subscribe button right below this video player that I'm talking out of. Make sure to click that and subscribe to us so you can get all of our newest videos. Because I'm actually pretty excited because I had to fix my computer in order to do this race for you guys, and so might be able to put out a little bit more content than I have in the past couple of months for your guys' enjoyment. Again, make sure to sponsor or subscribe, I should say. Watch our videos. But enough blabbing about that. We're about ready to go green. The lights are off on the pace car. Lambert, who do you see leading us down here in the next 5 laps?
Well, I see it's going to be, I think it'll be the 2 or the 52. Any one of those two. That 52 has been all over the back of the 2 of Jeff Ramsdale right there. So I don't know if he'll get back in line with him and push him again, but we'll find out here. But the 01's been a strong contender too as we go back green here.
For sure. Make sure to watch that top 3 and top 4, as they're going to try to stay up front and defend their position. Off to a great start is the 52 of Corey Heffley. He's going to pull out in front of Jeff Ramsdale. Just for a second, though, Jeff Ramsdale on the bottom with help from the 41 of Max Stalknet. Goes to the point. They're going to pull and clear that high side. Looks like the high side might die a little bit as more cars on the bottom. Highline in trouble. To the bottom now is Justin Bolton. That's going to leave the 52 of Corey Heffley out to dry. Can the 52 duck back in low somewhere? Oh, maybe he might be able to get a little bit of help from... Oh, there's so much shuffling going on. Jeff Ramsdale, he's left out to dry on the bottom at the line. I believe things are good. No, it's going to be the 41 leading them down. Justin Bolton in second. And then put Jeff Ramsdale back into third. Jordan Highland, one of our HVMP staff members, back there in the 4th position. Shout out to him. He's having a good run. Pulling a little bit of pit stop strategy to get up there, and now he's contending for the prize money and for the win. But he's going to have to fight the 41 of Max Stalknet to do it.
I think they learned a little bit of their lesson here of racing pretty hard 3 wide there. They really calmed it down.
Yeah, this green flag run so far is way more vanilla than last green flags run, which is crazy because I just started drinking a vanilla muscle milk. So I don't know what's going on there, but for sure these guys are staying mostly single file. We see one car out there on the outside trying to make something happen. That's Justin Bolton. Another green car back in the field, but other than that, everyone sticking to their guns on the low line. That's making for not much passing, but looking for a pass maybe to a Jeff Ramsdale. He's going to duck back in line, and Matt's going to lead us down for his 3rd lap. Damaged car, he's going to stay on the apron. To the high side, back to the low side. That's going to push the 21 out in front of the 01 of Justin Bolton. Look for them to try to make something happen. Oh, no! Oh, well, something happened there, all right. 21 just got hooked in the outside wall. And looks like Justin Bolton made contact, too. Jeff Ramsdale out to dry on the high side. And we thought this was going to be a little bit more calm than the last one, but cars getting torn up and they're hardly going too wide here, so now everyone's going single file.
The 22 or the 21 and the 19 back there. I don't know what the 19 was doing. He just wasn't paying attention.
19 running straight in the back of 19, making contact with the 21. And there we see the 21 went down to get service. Tough break for him. It was good to see him up in the top 5. But regardless, out front we have the 41 of Max Dalton. He's going to come back down around to lead another lap. That's going to be his 5th lap led. We're on lap 29 of 100. Now we see the 28 of Ryan Williams. He's making his way up into the top 10, just sitting just outside. He's in the 6th position. Started 35th. He's making a hell of a run up through the field. With 0 laps led. Again, our leader continues to be the 41 of Max Dalton as he goes around to lead his 6th lap. Driver with the most laps led is the number 2 of Jeff Ramsdale. 01 of Justin Bolton. He's now retired from this race with 6 laps led. Other retirements from the race are the 19 of Philip Kraus, 37 of Chris Overland, 32 of Evan Melanson, 8 of Adam Gilliland. He hit the wall earlier. Then obviously that big wreck that involved the 9, the 88, and the 06. And rounding out the field is Timmy Pacioli, Triffin Davis, Malik Ray, and Tyler Hill. So that's your top 5 right now, after 31 of 100 laps. Another interesting thing to add is the scheduled distance for today's race is 200 miles or no, 250 miles or 100 laps. However, we may go over the scheduled distance into overtime here for a couple of green-white checkered attempts. If that is the case, we start to see a little something for him in the back here. That's from about Ryan Williams on back. On the outside, we have the 80 of Matt Duncan, 35 of Leighton Sabili, 58 of Danny Cogden. And that's about it up on the high side. They're Lone Rangers trying to make it to the front. Keep an eye on them. And they're still side by side here. They're keeping hope alive on that high side, trying to get something going. As looks like they've separated just a little bit. It's 2 and 2 and 1 back there, as we got one driver, that's the 12 of Cody Dutton, moving back down to the low side. Those just 3 guys up top now, and they're trying everything that they can. Strangely, they're making a little bit of progress there. As Zach Duncan, the leader of the high side, has made it up to the 4th position here. Strong run for those guys on the outside. Maybe the high line's got something. 52 agrees with me. He's going up to the high side. add another car to the outside. .52, he's going to come on the high side.
As the tires wear down, the high side's going to be the place to be. A lot less bumpy, a little more grip.
Yeah, you've got that one right. Even though the 52 disagrees with you just a little bit, he's going to duck down to the low side, try to block the momentum of the 41, try to play both lines the best he can, as that high side kind of died there. But yeah, you've got a good point there. As the tires wear down and warm up, it's going to be a lot harder to keep it on the low side, and you might even lose a little bit of speed on the low side. The more cars you get up top, you know, with the bumps, the better, it seems like. Oh, and trying to make it 3 wide, possibly Leighton Sabile, maybe just getting a little bit of air. Lap car on the apron there. Bad news bears for the high line.
Some pretty gutsy moves to slide right there down in front of the 12 by the 35 of Sabile right there.
He makes it work, though. He gets into that low side, says, screw you guys. That's unfortunate because that 80 had such a good run trying to take over the lead. But nonetheless, the 52 used it as an excellent pick to get up there. And now he's leading. He's led 3 laps so far. See if he can hold on for a 4th one. That was Jeff Ramsdell clipping a little bit of the apron on entry there. Keeping it together though and head to towards the outside. Outside's going to try another run here. As it's the 12, the 2, and the 35 on the high side. They're going to see if they can overcome the odds and pass the low line here, as the 52 is going to go up and he's going to try to play both lines. But watch for that high line to get a run. It's formulating down the back straightaway. Looks like the 12 is going to be able to gain quite a bit of ground and get up to the back bumper of the 52. But there goes the 52. He's going to block the momentum. 41 goes up high with him. Ooh, we almost got cars on the wall. Looks like the 52 is going to get left out to dry in the sucker hole in the middle.
It's a very dangerous place to be right now.
That man is not comfortable there in the middle by any means, especially with as bumpy as this surface is. Oh man, don't go 3 wide, just someone let him in. The high side might sort it out here. Yes, car getting pushed down to onto the apron. That's the 4. 4's still getting pushed down on the apron. He's gonna find a way to bring it back up. That's Tyler Head in the 4. 2 came down across in front of the 4, and the 4 said, I don't think so, I'm staying here. Almost calamity. But as things settle back down, you have a new leader. That's Max Staltnet in the 41. It's about 11 laps so far. That's the 2nd most. As there's your top 5. Again, we've only had 2 cautions for 7 laps during this race. We're getting quite a good green flag run in here. Really, really impressed with the way these guys are running.
They seem to calm down here and there, but they make some pretty gutsy moves still. As we see 3 wide again.
A 3 wide at the front here. Ooh, it's the 52, the 12, and the 2. These guys have magnets in their cars, I tell you. As they're kind of settling things back down, but another car, that's 80 of Zach Duncan, working his way back up into the top 5 or 6 or so. These drivers go back to a nice and easy 2 wide. I'm sure one person who loves watching these guys race side by side is the 41. Because he knows as long as those guys are racing 3 wide behind him and they're not really lined up, he has no threat there from anyone. Oh, but he's got a threat now because those 2 on the high side got hooked up. That's the 2 and the 12 trying to make something happen on the outside. Put the 2 of Jeff Ramsdale to the lead. Oh, as they make a little bit of contact trying to get back down low, but it's all good.
Pretty amazing to see 2 cars work their way up by 3 positions and take the lead there.
That was a very impressive move from the 2 and the 12 at the line. Going to be the 2 of Jeff Ramsdale. And then now the 2 and the 12 are going to be battling side by side. 12 stuck on the high side. He's left out to dry.
Yeah, he's got another 4 or 5 car lengths behind him till the second person, which is the number 80 there. Now he's going to get a little help from the 52 again.
Yeah, now the 52 pulls out. Now 80 ducks out low. 52 is going to give him a little bit of a bump. Going to push him, but for how long? Remember, these smaller grill openings make it really hard for these guys to stay hooked up right on each other's bumper like that for long. 03 stuck in the middle now. He got shoved up high. That's all she wrote for him. He's going to try to fall back in behind either the 12 or the 52 here, given they sort that out. Oh, and he had room to duck down in front of Ryan Williams.
Been watching that number 28 car, Ryan Williams. He's left a good little gap between him and the car in front of him. I don't know if he's just doing that to be conservative or just allow people to get in front of him.
Ryan definitely playing it safe there. We'll have to ask him about that after the race. Not sure quite what the thinking is behind that, but again, Ryan Williams, masterful, skillful in NR 2003. Showing a little bit of his skill here in iRacing. Nonetheless, it is a super speedway race, but this takes talent for sure. As to the lead, on the outside is the 12 of Cody Dutton. Cody Dutton put him to P1 there as, Jeff Ramsdale is going to try the low side. At the line, Jeff Ramsdale takes the lap from him. Put the 12 back to the outside. And again, it's 3 cars up on top. Versus about 5 or 6 on the bottom, but gotta remember, those 5 or 6 cars that are on the bottom are not nose to tail. The 3 on the outside are nose to tail, and I think that's a little bit more crucial right now.
And the 12 and the 2 are having a pretty good battle in the middle of the race here. Neither one of them wants to give up that lead at all.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this is only lap 46 of 100. There's still a lot of time left to go. And then another thing that these drivers have to realize is they're soon going to be coming up on green flag pit stops.
That is true. We're going to see if we can get them in and make them cleanly. Wonder if we'll see just a big line of cars down at the bottom here pretty soon.
I'm not exactly sure how many laps these drivers can get on a tank of fuel. But nonetheless, these guys are gonna have to pit soon. They're gonna have to pit sometime, unless all these cars suddenly turned into hybrids.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have a pit stop here probably within the next 10 laps.
Wonder, Brandon, I'm not sure if you can dial in any drivers here for an interview, but I'd like to get the 28 if we could dialed up. Maybe see what his strategy is here. Brian's good enough. He should be able to talk while we're green.
All right, I'll see about what I can do here.
As drivers side by side up here in the first two rows, trying to make something happen on the high side. Continues to be the 12 in the 03 against everyone else.
Here we go. We got people coming down. Got the 12 and the
That's the 12, the 4, the cone goes. Cone's dead. We see the 4 Tyler Head, 52 of Corey Heffley, Max Staltnett,
Luke Crutchfield in the 16. He's coming down.
Zach Duncan. Let's watch those pit stop times. If that's at all possible. Corey Heffley with a good stop in the 52. Cody Dutton with a good stop too. Tyler Head with a good stop. All 2 tires. James Wenzel. Luke Crutchfield.
Well, everybody taking 2 tires.
And caution's out, caution's out. Just not sure what for. We're looking for the cause of the caution. Maybe we can go back in time here. See if we can figure it out. Still looking, caution's out.
Looks like the 58 got a little hot trying to get down in the pit road, locked them up, and just got her sideways.
Let's look to see if that's the case there. Oh, yep, there we see him spinning. Oh, and then that causes a couple other guys to hit the skids and go sideways. Not sure who that was in the back, but yeah, 58 getting in there way too hot. Like that was 89 getting sideways out into the grass. Unfortunately, he was not able to service his machine. So tough break for him. Again, thanks to FTR for that broadcasting package. So under caution.
Looks like the 35 of Seville got a little sideways because of that, and also the 89 of Brady Tennant.
That's going to shuffle up the leaderboards here. You see 89 making his pit stop. Blake Reynolds down on pit road. Max Staltnett. Brendan McGee. All guys making repairs to their machines out front. It's Steve Bonesteel, the 25. And I think while we got a little bit of downtime here, why don't we get a quick commercial break in here? Oh. Again, your top 5. Steve Bonesteel. Dermatite. I'm not even going to try to butcher that one. Sterling, Hammer, and Dutton are your top 5. We'll be right back, guys.
Nothing will ever sound the same without a Turtle Beach headset. Hear everything. Defeat everyone.
Alrighty, we're back here under caution at the, I've got Ballz 250. A little bit of a mix-up in our top 5 here. Out front is a Ford of Sterling. I believe that's John Sterling. Yes, it is John Sterling. Followed by Cody Dutton, a Chevy, Corey Heffley, Chris DiPierto, and Jeff Ramsdale round out your top 5. Those are all Chevys. As we're going to double them up here. 2x2 signify the one to go is the next lap. Or excuse me, we are on the one to go lap. Green Racing next time by. So now we've passed the halfway point. Brandon, are we going to see the same vanilla racing we saw in that last run?
That I'm not sure of. We know the 2 and the 52 and the 12, they all like to lead, so I expect one of them or 2 of them or all 3 of them to make some kind of move to at least get back to the front. So I think we're going to see two out racing early on, and then we'll probably calm it down about 10 laps in.
So for sure, it looks like we're going to be praying for a green flag run here. It's kind of nice and refreshing to see those guys make some pit stops under green. Unfortunately, that being the cause of the caution. Nonetheless, we're going back green here, don't fret. Get out of those restrooms down there. You're not going to want to miss this restart. As it's the 03 of John Sterling. We haven't talked much about John Sterling, but John Sterling's been there. He's been silent within the top 5, top 10 for most of the day. As the pace car makes its last couple of feet before the green, before it retires down to the pit lane. Your leader, John Sterling, going to bring him down. Green flag is in the air. John Sterling with a terrible restart. That's going to allow the 12 of Cody Dutton to pull down in front of him. That leaves the 52 as the leader of the high side. Back behind him is the 87 of Matteo Juliano. So high line's starting to die already, and bottom line's already the line to be in. That's Cody Dutton, John Sterling, Tyler Head. All down in that bottom groove. Jeff Ramsdale and the 45 of Chris Pierto to round out our top 5.
Ooh, 87 in the back getting a little loose. He came off turn 4.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Oh, hard hit. Hard hit there. Cars around. Ryan Williams making it through unscathed. And what the heck happened there? Let's look at the replay. There you see wreck has already happened there in that shot. Looks like Elliot Henderson having a hard time finding the brake pedal. Getting into a couple of cars after that happened. I'll set you back a little bit farther. So what you said, well, yeah, we saw the 87 get up into the wall. Everything was fine. It looks like he was able to save it. It looks like the 80 just cleared himself across the 52, and lots of drivers getting caught up in it there. You see Brennan McGee. His day's done. I'll take another look at that replay. If we can get you guys a little more insight as to what happened in the back, we'll go on board. No, it's just big wreck developing up in front of these guys, and hard time seeing which way to go. You see the 37 of Elliot Henderson. This is all going down in front of him, and just cars bouncing left and right every which way, and you just kind of hope you're able to make it through in a situation like that. Oh, tough break for him. Back live now. There you see the 37 of Elliot Henderson getting repairs to that machine. But out front, it's the 12 of Cody Dutton, followed by the 03 of John Sterling, Tyler Head, Jeff Ramsdale, Chris DiPierto. That rounds out your top 5. James Wenzel in the 6th position there. Scott Johnston, excuse me, in P7. P8 is Brandon Wilkinson. 9th is Luke Crutchfield. He was involved in a little bit earlier incident. Able to recover from that. And Blake Reynolds, the 66th machine, rounds out your top 10. Ryan Williams in the 12th position. Timing and scoring actually shows him 11th, 14th now. Close enough. 11th is his official position as of now. Were we ever able to get a hold of Ryan Bear Lambert?
I was not.
So unfortunately, we can't get you guys what's going on with him.
But speaking of Ryan Williams, I've got to give him the all-state good hands of the race. He has missed 3 wrecks already this race, and it's been very impressive.
Yeah, he was doing a good job of avoiding that last one. He was able to back it down to just a good enough speed to let that thing happen in front of him and just pick a good line to drive through. So definitely agree with you on that one, as he's going to get service to his machine. Let's pull up some pit stop times here. There you see Scott Johnson taking 4 tires. Ryan Williams with a 4.4 second pit stop. Impressive for him. And let's check up on our number of cautions. There are 4 cautions for 11 laps. So if it goes green to the end, something's gonna get handed out. I'm not sure what it is. There's too many prizes to list here. Lambert, did we ever get someone scoped out for that prize there?
In the chat. Let's see here.
Looking for someone to throw that copy of whatever that fancy game is. It's a Steam game, I can tell you that much. That's Age of Empires 2. I've never heard of it, but if that interests you, then give Lambert a good reason as to why you should get it. We couldn't come up with any trivia here because I'm unoriginal, so maybe if you're a little bit more original, you can come up with a good reason to give Brandon Lambert, or have Brandon Lambert give you that prize. Then for sure speak up, come up with something creative. If he likes it, he'll give it to you. He'll throw it at you. Just please don't poke an eye out.
I'm gonna look up a good trivia question here. Let's see what I can come up with.
Alrighty, change the plans. We'll come up with a good trivia question for you guys. Just come up with something. Someone's gonna walk away with that. We'll probably get to that on our next caution here, as this field's kind of thinning down. Looks like we have 19 cars in the lead lap. That's Nelius, Demetrius, Dermatitis. I butcher names, but he's our last person in the lead lap there. If you're interested, he's catching up. Trying to make it before these guys go green. There's Cody Dutton up there in the lead in that Budweiser born-on-date Chevrolet. I've got a couple of good guys on the bottom. We got Cody Dutton, Tyler Head, James Wenzel, Luke Crutchfield, Blake Reynolds, all fast cars on the bottom. But the high line's equally as good. We have up top John Sterling, Jeff Ramsdale, Chris DiPierto, Leighton Sabili making his way up in the top 10, Steve Bonesteel, and Ryan Williams. So watch out for those guys to make something happen here. I think that high side's all about who you got up there and working with each other. If you got the right group of people, and it's the right part of the run, that high line is just as competitive, if not a little bit more competitive, as the bottom line. So we'll test my theory on this restart here. Cody Dutton brings him down to the green flag. Green flag in the air. No real advantage there from high side to the low side. Looks like it's gonna be the low side. Top 2 on the inside, separating out top 3. That's the 2 of Jeff Ramsdale. He ducks back down to the low side. So put 3 really fast cars together there, and you have the inside line. Now 4 fast cars. Everyone finding their way back down to the bottom. Single file as they head into turn number 3. Cody Dutton leads, followed by Tyler Head, Jeff Ramsdale, and John Sterling. And Chris DiPierto rounds out your top 5. And to the line, Cody Dutton leads his 7th lap. Lap 60 of 100. We're 6/10 of the way through. Or however else you want to divide that fraction up. We're almost 2/3 of the way through the race. So watch for these guys to start making moves. As we enter in this the final trimester of this race. As ducking out for some air as the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell. He squeezes back up in front of the 03 of John Sterling. Top 4 guys under a blanket right now. It's almost like a 2-car tandem, but not. They're not quite nose to tail. As I spoke too soon, now they're starting to suck back up. And 5th and 6th, they're just now catching up. Feels really strung out if you look at these guys back there. I don't know if that's from the caution we had or what that's all about, but a lot of guys starting to lose the draft. A couple of guys that maybe we thought wouldn't are Ryan Williams back there. Remember we said he's one to look out for. Also Steve Bonesteel back there. And Houston Hammer. But up front, it's Cody Dutton. Gonna come down to lead his 9th lap. Driver with the most laps led today is the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell. And the 41 of Max Dalkett has 13 laps led. And then our leader, Cody Dutton, with the 3rd most laps led. And then Justin Bolton, he's no longer in the race. He had 6 laps led. Corey Heffley with 5. John Sterling with 2. And a handful of other ones. Other drivers with 1 lap led in the race. He's down the front straightaway and pouring into the tri-oval is the field. There we go. We have 18 lead changes so far in 63 laps. So down the back straightaway, 12 continues to lead. 4 of Tyler Head. He's I believe he's one of the guys behind this entire thing. He'd love to win it. Jeff Ramsdell, always strong in hosted races. I'd like to talk about Jeff Ramsdell for a second. Jeff Ramsdell, always a big fan of these hosted races. Always one of the guys who loves to run up front, loves to run these things, loves to support the smaller leagues and the bigger events here. This is definitely one of the bigger ones that he's circled on his schedule for the year. This is the 2nd annual I've Got Ballz 250. Second, count 'em, 2 races. Last year's race won by Chris Overland, who's no longer in this race. And a little bit different stage there. They were at Talladega. This is Daytona. Definitely 2 different types of super speedways. You might just, you might lump all these things into one, one category. Just, super speedway racing, whatever. It doesn't take talent, but if you're good at one, you're good at one. If you're good at the other, it's Talladega and Daytona drive completely different. It's a completely different mindset you have to have when you're trying to make your way up through the field. Daytona, much narrower surface than Talladega. Harder to put that car where you want, but we're seeing a couple of guys do it today. Definitely once you're out front here at Daytona, you want to stay in the front. It's like we've seen many drivers do, including Cody Dutton. He's going to come down on lap 66. I believe we're entering the final trimester of this race. Slow car in front of the field. That's the 11, whose name I can't pronounce. Oh, he's going to have to get out of the way fast. Gonna pick the high side. And the field's going to squeeze by, no issue. So, rounding to lap 67, we have Cody Dutton in the lead.
All right, now that we got a little bit of time here, where there's not a whole lot of action-packed racing going on, it's kind of single file, I have a trivia question.
It's probably one I can't answer, but
In the spirit of Daytona, I have a Daytona 500 trivial question.
alright, hit us with it.
There is only one team that has ever finished 1, 2, 3 in the Daytona 500. Name the team and the year.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I couldn't tell you what it was, and I couldn't tell you what year either. I'm sure if you guys have a guess, type it into the comments section. There, Brandon Lambert will be on the lookout for you, and he'll pick one of the right answers to win that copy of whatever that hip new game is.
And
Age
using
of
Google,
Empires.
consider cheating.
Again, here's another plug for HVMP here. You are watching it live on HVMP, our friends at FTR TV, giving us the broadcasting package and the graphics for today's race. Big thanks to those guys. Big thanks to everyone hosting this event. Big thanks to Brendan McGee and everyone there helping us put this thing on. Big thank you to Micro Center for allowing us to have a race today, or a broadcasted race, I should say, today. Again, if you like what we're doing here, enough for maybe to have your own event broadcast or something like that, feel free to send me an email, highvoltagemp@gmail.com, I believe it is. Please don't sign me up for any of those weird surveys or anything like that. That would be unfortunate. But if you are interested in getting whatever it is broadcasted or videos made or anything like that, feel free to send me an email. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like us on Facebook, even though I'm pretty boring on Facebook. I think we have a Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter, but it's not a whole lot to follow. But nonetheless, check all the social medias. I'm sure I'm on there somewhere. And whatever it is, liking, following, doing whatever you got to do to keep up to date with HVMP, make sure to do so.
All right.
Top 5 here.
So far, we have 4 correct answers here. The first one that can name the drivers, we will give the prize to.
First person to give the drivers. That's better hurry up because that one's gonna go quick. No time for the Google machine. Don't quit using that. Don't cheat. See if we can find someone to throw at.
3B Freaky 1. You are the winner.
Alrighty, 3B Freaky 1. Make sure to send us your send us your Facebook name, send us your Steam ID, whatever it is, email, whatever we got to do to get a hold of you. Phone number. If you got to send a smoke signal, well, don't do that. Just send us a message on YouTube, and we'll make sure to get that, and make sure you get your copy after the completion of today's race. I'm looking for a copy of whatever games there's up for available. That's Age of Empires 2 HD. That's what you just won. The winner is looking for either a choice of that, Grand Theft Auto 4, or Civilization 5. along with $15 to go into their wallet. So these guys definitely, once we start getting down into the final couple of laps, they're going to be fighting for that. I think we've had more than 4 cautions, so only one $5 thing of credits will be sent out, as long as we don't have 6 or more. And you must finish 3 laps down or less to be eligible for that. So sorry to anyone who has retired so far, but we're going to have 17 drivers eligible for that. So that's the amount of people who are both on the lead lap and less than 3 laps down. And then the 2 games that the winners don't choose will be distributed at random to the drivers in the top 20. And everyone in the top 20 still running there. As we got to move to the high side, that's Jeff Ramsdale in the 2, with help from Steve Bonesteel in the 25. He's going to take over the top spot. So put Jeff Ramsdale back in the lead. That's his 21st lead lap. As soon as Cody Dutton tied him for the most laps led, Jeff Ramsdale said, we ain't going to have any of that. And him and Steve Bonesteel taking it to the high side and to the lead here on lap 74 of 100. And again, this is the I've Got Ballz 250. Very prestigious event. I've been told it's probably the second biggest hosted race besides the Nordgar 500. You might argue with me on that one, but that's what I've been told. So nonetheless, we're proud to give you guys complete flag-to-flag coverage of this race. And Jeff Ramsdale is glad to be leading it. Keep your eyes out on the forums and social media and whatnot for a 3rd annual. I'm sure there's going to be another one as this race. Definitely a success for sure. 40 drivers making it into today's field. And Steve Bonesteel all over the back of the number 2. Got the 12 of Cody Dutton. I believe the 2 and the 25 are working together. So look out for those guys to be unstoppable here. Not sure who the 12 can hook back up with. Maybe the 4 of Tyler Head. Looks like those guys were doing a pretty good job of holding their own on the bottom until those guys decided to steal the show. And again, Jeff Ramsdale coming all the way from the 24th position. A strong run for him. Steve Bonesteel started even farther back in the 32nd position. So those 2 guys were moving through the field for sure. Cody Dutton and Tyler Head, they've been up front all day. Tyler Head still with 0 laps led here as we close in to 23 laps to go. These guys make their way down this long back straightaway. Jeff Ramsdale still your leader. We got about, let's say, 12 cars up in this front pack. Looks like Ryan Williams is able to find his way to the back of this pack. Along with Leighton Sabili, he's they're holding on there. Houston Hammer, guys rounding out that pack. The front of the pack, though, it's Jeff Ramsdale, Steve Bonesteel, Cody Dutton, Tyler Head. You see, there's your top 5. All Chevys except for Jeff Ramsdale. Jeff Ramsdale's in a Camry. Look at that. It's so new it doesn't even show up on our top 5 thing. Camry just added recently to iRacing. Jeff Ramsdale putting Toyota to work there, putting TRD up to the top in front of these 3 Chevys of Bone Steel, Dutton, and Head. And then Sterling, of course, in a Ford. 19 lead changes so far in 79 laps. We've had 4 cautions for 12 laps. Race leader is the
green flag
2.
pit stop's coming up here. Let's see how this changes up the field.
That's true. We're going to be closing in on our final pit stops. Here we'll see who has to go down and take them. Oh, as we got guys going down already. That's the 4 of Tyler Head, the 12 of Cody Dutton, the 03. Oh, his guys are getting loose. Getting onto the binders here. Oh, a little bit of shoving back there between Houston Hammer and Ryan Williams. They're not sure what that was about. I think Ryan Williams was trying to get into a stall or something. We'll look at pit stop times. First out will be the 4 of Tyler Head, and the rest are coming out in a gaggle. Watch for those 3 cars that are coming. Watch the merge, guys. Ooh, watch the merge. Ooh, watching the blend line. Everyone's good. Everyone's all right. That would have given me a heart attack, but nonetheless, Tyler Head first out of pit road. He's all by himself in between these 2 packs. Interesting to see how that'll work out for him. Up at the front, we got Jeff Ramsdale making a pit. He's taking quite a bit of fuel, maybe some right sides. 9.5 second pit stop on his machine. Steve Bonesteel, who was right behind him, making a pit stop. 9.1 seconds, just a little bit better. As there you see the field back behind him, looming, trying to hunt them down. There we have Elliot Henderson, Danny Congdon, and Matt Stalknet. Maybe on a little bit of different strategy. Maybe they pit a couple of laps earlier, not sure. But nonetheless, they're in front of the guys who had just pit. And then Jeff Ramsdale and Steve Bonesteel, they're they're in their own zip code right now. They're getting worked here though. For sure. Oh, there we go. Finally, they go down and pit back there in the back. Those drivers that we mentioned earlier. Not the point. It's Jeff Ramsdale. I think they're making a swap. I think they're trying to tandem and make it work, so they don't lose as much momentum when the 4 comes to take that over. There, Tyler Head's half a second back now. They're gaining considerable amount there. We got a car on the outside. That's the 3 of the 66 of Blake Reynolds. So 3 cars, now 4 cars against 2. So now put Steve Bonesteel to the front. He just led his second lap. Again, Tyler Head looking to take the lead. He hasn't led yet. On the outside is the 4 and the 12 against the 25 and the 2. Can they make anything happen? It looks like that top line kind of separates a little bit, maybe giving each other a little bit of breathing room. 2 and the 25 are on top of it, though. They know how to push each other to the limit and push their engines to the limit. And still maintain that lead. They might get swallowed up here by the rest. But not yet. Steve Bonesteel continues to lead. There's your top 5, just in case you were wondering. Lap 84 of 100. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Last part of the race. These drivers are tired. We're tired up here talking, but we're bringing you more racing anyways. These guys still have a little bit left in them. And, oh, caution's out. Oh, wreck in front of the leaders. Oh, the 07, excuse me, the 07 Houston Hammer hits the 03 of John Sterling. And Ryan Williams through the grass, avoiding another wreck. That was, interesting. Didn't see that one coming. Sure, a little bit of a big surprise for the guys up front. Let's take a look at that instant replay. Coming off the corner.
Some of your back runners, 37 and 41, looking looks like they were just touched coming out of 4 and got the 37 loose, put them in the outside wall.
Let's take another look at that. Oh, there's the wreck already in progress there. Get back a little bit farther in time. Looking at it, looks like they were separated going down the back straightaway. And both cars damaged for sure. Maybe they thought they could run with each other, not lose a lap before this next caution, but unfortunately they were the next caution. 41 in the back of the 37 and just sends him right on around in the outside wall. Tough break for them. And obviously, we just came back from green flag pit stops there, so no need to pit. Just holding on to that track position. So, let's see, while we get a little bit of downtime here into this caution, we'll take another commercial break. We'll be right back.
In Soviet Russia, Will and Dave show listens to you.
Hi there, it's Will Vincent.
And Dave Judson.
Dave Judson, Will Vincent. If you guys would like to sponsor a very high quality radio podcast like thing, then don't bother calling us. However, if you'd like to, spend lots of money on feeding our cigarette
Alcohol
habits,
addictions.
alcohol addictions, incessant need to buy hardcore pornography, any of that shit, then consider sponsoring the Will and Dave podcast. And we'll spend all your money incredibly unwisely. What else are we actually going to do with this sponsorship money? You're the one that came up with the idea.
I just want to make money for talking, to be quite honest.
You could be a commentator. Actually, no, that doesn't work. Fuck.
It worked for Marty Reed.
Well, yeah, he just didn't actually talk. He just made noises. In fact, do you not remember the 2013 Indy 500? I'm a commentator, but I'm going to sit back with you guys, and we're going to watch the green flag together. In fact, if you lay back, I might give you a secret little blowjob.
I know you. I know you.
Guys, for fuck's sake, sponsor. We'll even put your little logo somewhere on the YouTube page, because we're not going to have video. I'm too fucking ugly, and he's too fucking bald. I mean, we're just going to get, you're going to get confused of being, I don't know, like pedophiles or something. So you can have your image right there on the motherfucking screen. Fuck.
Just do it. It's the best investment you'll ever make.
Nothing will ever sound the same without a Turtle Beach headset. Hear everything. Defeat everyone.
Lights out in Daytona. Coming down the back straightaway on lap 88 of 100. So long as that is the scheduled, or so long as that is the distance, the scheduled distance. Remember, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered in case that's not enough. Guess they can't sort out within that time, within the scheduled distance. But nonetheless, this is one of our last restarts before the end of the race. Lap 88 of 100. When we restart, we'll have 12 laps to go, 11 laps to go. Something like that. We've got Steve Bonesteel and Jeff Ramsdell leading them on down. Behind them, we have Tyler Head, James Wenzel, and Cody Dutton. That rounds out your top 5. So pace car pulls off, and the green flag goes in the air. Steve Bonesteel, they pretty good start on the bottom. Jeff Ramsdale, not too bad himself up top. 2 of them are going to be side by side going down into turn number 1. Ramsdale with a slight advantage. He drifts up a little bit high. Oh, 25 is going to get sideways, and oh, they're going to save it. Oh, no, we're done. All right, caution's out, caution's out. They almost saved it. So close.
Driver's getting antsy. It's about 10 laps to go. It's time to make a move, and that's just the thing about it.
There you see the carnage in the back, the 45 and the 4 getting together. Take it back from the restart. So we're going down nice and smooth. Tyler Head laying in the back of that 25, trying to get all he could. 25 just walked it up the hill. 12 got in the back of the 4. 16 got in the back of the 45. And everyone just kind of came together in all sorts of different angles and places. And, well, that's the end result there. I can tell you that much. Unfortunate, because that was a lot of cars that were looking for the win, and they were running up front all day. It's tough to get taken out like that in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, the 4. It's a heartbreak for the 4 and the 25. They were both big contenders in this race.
Yeah, there you see the 37 lost his nose.
Well, with under 10 laps to go, I wonder what kind of racing we're going to see here.
I mean, I think we're going to see kind of what we saw on that restart. Just everyone going for all that they can. And they're going to try to not let up off each other. I think that Tyler Head just got a little bit too antsy there. He's laying in the back of Bonesteel just a little bit too much there. Maybe should have let these guys get it settled out and whatnot before they were doing that. But I think we're going to see that for sure on the restart. Just a slight bit of impatience just because we're in the last couple of laps.
Patience is out the window now. It's gas it and go. There's no brakes anymore. It's keep your foot in it. Find a hole and make it work.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a different change of pace here in these last couple of laps. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it. Well, we kind of saw a little bit of it on that restart. Everyone's kind of in a hurry. Let's get to the front mode. And with that comes, a little bit of consequence, and a couple of drivers learned that one, and unfortunately they're out of the race. It's like Tyler Head, he's going to make service to his machine. Try to get most of that damage fixed. I can't tell. Looks like his car is oh no, his car is torn up for sure. Now that we look at the TV3. Houston Hammer, you see him on pit road getting some service done. 45 leaving the pits. All three of those cars torn up pretty significantly.
Yeah, a lot of good damaged cars. It's unfortunate for those guys.
There we see Leighton Sabili. He started in the 5th position. His day is over. When we see Steve Bonesteel still putting around. He's got a little bit of damage in the back though, but God, I feel bad for Steve. He was looking good running up there in the front. It looks like he was working pretty good with that too, Jeff Ramsdale. Now it's just going to be Ramsdale all by himself. We've got a couple of different drivers that are peeking their way up into the top 5 as a result of that. We have the 3 of James Wenzel, 66 of Blake Reynolds, 12 of Cody Dutton, and would you look at Ryan Williams? He's found his way up into the 5th position after almost getting hung out to dry, almost getting in all these wrecks that were happening right in front of him. It's good to see that he's been able to persevere through all that. Nick DePalmo, one we haven't talked about all day, he's in the 6th position.
Yeah, we're seeing some guys up here we haven't seen up front much. We got the 66 and the 3, and the 33 back there. I haven't heard much out of him. We got some dark horses here in the top 10 here as we get under 7-8 laps to go.
Now, if I were to ask you which one of these drivers you like the most, and maybe, like them enough to think they're going to win the race, who might you say?
If I had to put money on anything, it'd be the 2 and the 12. They've been the front runners all day. They've been the most impressive of getting a 2-car or 3-car line and working their way up to the front. If anything, it would be a surprise if either one of them didn't win. But
yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't count out the 0-3 back there. He's been a strong front runner. I wouldn't count out Ryan Williams and the 28.
Yeah, with as many cautions as we've had in this race, as many people as we've had getting damaged, almost about half the drivers now are out of the race. There's still quite a few good cars left. Jeff Ramsdale, he's ran up front all day, and that's kept him out of trouble. 12's stayed up front, that's kept him out of trouble. Nick DePalmo with a little bit of rear end damage, but he's been able to keep himself up. Pretty. He's found his way up into the front, that's for sure, so. Interesting to see the different strategies pulled by these guys. As pace car lights are off. That means get ready for the restart, because these guys are going to be coming at you in just a couple of miles. Lap 93 of 100 will be lap 94 of 100 on the restart. 7 laps to go. I believe if I do my math right on that one, I'm not a math major for sure. Math is my worst subject, but we're gonna have around that many laps to go. It's close. It's close to the end. That's what you guys need to know.
Yeah, with under 10 laps to go, like I said earlier, there's no more brakes. This is you keep that gas pedal to the floor and just trying to find the hole. So. Again,
the rules for this are pretty similar to those of a regular iRacing race. Pretty much whatever goes here goes, or whatever goes there goes in this race. So nothing too crazy should be pulled. But we've been surprised in the past here on HVMP. And a number of the other series that we've broadcasted, so I don't see why this one's going to be any different. But it's going to be Jeff Ramsdale and James Wenzel bringing them on down. Green flag is in the air. Jeff Ramsdell with a great start. Ooh, that 3's pinching that inside line. He's trying to get all the side draft he can. If that 3 can hold it down there against the inside line, if he's brave enough to, he might be able to hold him on his own. But on the bottom line, it's going to be Jeff Ramsdell, Blake Reynolds, and Ryan Williams sneaking their way past the 3 of James Wenzel. Now Cody Dutton looks to do the same. So out front, getting a big push from the 66 is the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell. And quietly in third is Ryan Williams. You're looking to see what he can do.
I'm just waiting for that 12 to make his move.
That 12 definitely waiting right there, waiting to get the right people in the right places for him to make his move. We've seen him do it a couple of times already this race. But he's going to have to deal with the 2 and the 66. Those guys are locked on tight to each other. Caution is out. Caution's out. Looks like we had a little bit of an issue back in the pack. Houston Hammer. He's done. He gone. Let's look at the instant replay on that one. Not sure how this could have happened. He was kind of in his own zip code. It looks like the 52 was trying to work with him. That's Corey Heffley. I think he wanted to be left alone. And I'm not sure if the 52 was a little bit upset with the 07 there, but he just kind of hooked him straight in the wall.
I'm trying to tandem way back in the field. I don't know how that's going to work, but shows right there it didn't.
And there you see Houston tried to do everything he could to save it, and yeah, that was a hard lick for him. So under another caution here. It's our 7th caution, so looks like that $5 in credits isn't going to be given to anyone in the top 20. Shame on you, I suppose. But that's the way they go. It goes around here. That was what was said earlier in the race. Unfortunately, we had to get 7 cautions here. It looks like we might have to go in a little bit of overtime.
Might be a green-white checkered here.
Yeah, we might get an attempt at a green-white checkered. It wouldn't be the... It would be the scheduled distance. So it would not be one of our attempts at a green-white checkered. It would still be under the scheduled race distance.
From race control, Brennan McGee he has posted a green-white checkered is about to come.
All right, so this will be a green-white checkered attempt.
With 2 laps to go to Super Speedway, this is about to get nuts.
So remember,
if the 12 is going to make his move, he's going to make it very early.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to have to. That's going to put Ryan Williams down to the inside and the 66 to the outside of the front row. So this will be a little bit as caution is out to allow for that green-white checkered attempt. But nonetheless, that's how they will restart here. So it'll be interesting to see who does what. Ryan Williams, he's going to be on the low side. That's the line. Looks like that's better. And that's going to put the 12 to the outside. The line that, isn't probably preferred, as it looks like from up here. Not sure what it's like down on the track, but 12, he's going to have to find where he can go on the restart, and he's going to do it quick in order to get up to the front, because we only got 2 laps left to do it when we go green.
He's going to have to make that 66 his best friend.
And we've seen the 66 make friends with people. for sure. Blake Reynolds made friends with Jeff Ramsdell as we got someone parked down there. But Blake Reynolds making friends with the 2, maybe they might want to go back to that. The 2 and the 66 working together and try to leave the 28 and the 12 to do whatever they can do, or maybe not. Maybe the 66 will make friends with someone else. It's all left on the table for these guys now. So we can believe this is going to be 2 to go before the green flag. And I haven't really seen any particular move be, a better move to do on someone than, there's no real clear way of getting to the front. It's just kind of like you got to find yourself the right people, and the 2 lines have to do their magic, and then somehow one line ends up faster than the other, and that's how passing gets done. So interesting to see how these guys are going to get it done. So maybe we can try again to dial up one of our peoples. Here, we'll see if we can get Ryan Williams in the booth. We're not. Oh, there we go. Hey Ryan, this is Dylan Living in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be a green-white checkered here once we get back to it. What's your strategy to make sure you can get to the lead?
I'm not really sure. I want to try to get high, but Cody and I, the 12, we were about to pull high just before the yellow came out. So, but he's, I just don't know what to do. I really just like to make it to the end, but if I can go for the win, which I'm in a pretty good position to do so, I'll try it. But I'm just trying to figure out if I need to go high or I need to push this guy. But you can only push for about a quarter of a lap, and then you're about to blow your motor. So I really don't know what to do.
Is the 12 someone you're trying to work with then?
Yeah, it was just kind of makeshift on that restart right there, and I don't really know if we're going to do anything now. I'm sure he's going to hook up to 66, but I'll figure something out. Whatever happens, happens.
Now, looking behind you in the field, how confident are you with DePalmo getting you to the front?
Not very, but, whatever happens, happens.
Alrighty, well, thank you for your time, Ryan. Good luck. We've been talking about you all race. It'll be interesting to see if you can pull this one together.
Thanks, you guys.
Alrighty, that's Ryan Williams there, driver the 28. So, lights out on the pace car. That means we're going to get our green-white checkered attempt. Number 1 in the books here. Going past the scheduled distance of today's race. In order to determine a winner under green flag circumstances, I believe when you get the white flag, the next flag ends the race. I believe it's the same as NASCAR, but we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell on the inside, Blake Reynolds in the 66 on the outside, Ryan Williams behind the 2, and the 12 behind the 66. We'll see who's going to make what happen. We got the 33 and the 3 behind those, and the rest are on Gilligan's Isle here on this restart.
Pull them belts tight. And just hope and pray you don't go in the catch bins.
Here we go one more time. The pace car inches its way and crawls its way down the front straightaway. It's going to make the sharp turn down to pit road. Jeff Ramsdell is going to be under control. Green flag is in the air. Highline with a great restart. 66 and the 12. They're making something move on the high side. They're hooked up. It looks like they're going to drop down in front. of the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell. So now all the 12 has to do is get around the 66, and it will be his. 2 laps to go here. In the I've Got Ballz 250. Who can make a move? 66 out front right now. Bunch of hungry guys behind him. Jeff Ramsdale's led all race. The 12's led quite a bit. And the 28 of Ryan Williams, your dark horse. There we see to the high side, a little bit of contact between the 12 and the 2. 2's trying to fake out the 12. He does. He goes inside. It's going to be the 28 and the 12 on the outside. These guys work together. Looks like they're back to their same partners as they had. Last lap here in Daytona. 66 out front. The 12 and the 28 move low. 3's right there. Mid trying the outside now. 66 continues to lead down the backstretch. Jeff Ramsdell tucked right up underneath him. He's going to push him just a little bit. Try to go high, try to go low, try to go high. Serpentine in their way through 3 and 4. Down the line. Jeff Ramsdell tries low, tries high. And it's going to be the 66 of Blake Reynolds, your winner, here in the I've Got Ballz 250. Wrecking in the back, but that doesn't matter. Blake Reynolds, the man today. He's didn't lead a whole bunch of laps. He only led 3 laps, but he was able to. Oh, as he gets hit afterwards there. He's going to be the one bringing home the hardware, the $15, and the game of his choice. And he's going to do a couple of donuts here on the back straightaway. It looks like they're filming for the next Cheech and Chong movie on the back stretch, but nonetheless, he's doing those burnouts. And it's the 35 of Sabili giving him a little bit of a congratulations. Those 2 guys are friends. They're going to do burnouts there. And what a win. What a last couple of laps for Blake Reynolds and all those guys. As we'll see who we can get brought into the booth here. Here's our official results, by the way. Blake Reynolds, your winner, followed by Jeff Ramsdell, Cody Dutton, and Ryan Williams, and James Wenzel. That rounds out your top 5. 6th place, Nick DePalmo. 7th place, Steve Bonesteel. 8th place, Brandon Winkelson. 9th place, Scott Johnston, and 10th is Max Dalknett. And 11th is Luke Crutchfield. 12th, Leighton Sabile, Tyler Head, Chris DiPierto, Danny Congdon, John Sterling, William Anderson, and Houston Hammer, Elliot Henderson, and Danelius. Round out your top 20. The rest are on Gilligan's Isle here. Brennan McGee, tough luck for him getting involved in a wreck. Jordan Highland, tough break for him. Both guys who were out front. Justin Bolton, heartache for him. He was up front early. And then Chris Overland, Adam Gilliland, 2 guys that were out early but were fast. There we see Timmy Pacioli cause of one of the first cautions. And that rounds out your results. Is let's see if we can bring into the booth. Well, Ryan, maybe not what you exactly hoped for in the last couple of laps. Can you kind of walk us through what happened?
Yeah, the leader didn't really get a good restart at all, and I was like, oh, that sucked. But then I just got somehow behind Cody. I don't know how, and just tried to push him as hard as I could. And then I just tried to push him, and I was hoping that whoever was in second would pull out. It looked like he tried, but I guess if they got side by side, Cody and I probably could have got a huge run and maybe try to go 3 wide, but you know. Oh well, nothing wrong with wood medal, 4th place.
So, yeah, not too bad. We saw you work your way up through the field the entire day. Definitely nothing to hang your head over. Just not in the right place at the right time. But is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom. She was cheerleading me there the last couple laps. I'd like to thank my cat Max. He's a nice cat. And I'd like to thank Jesus because, without Jesus, I wouldn't ever got through any of those wrecks. Wouldn't ever got fourth place. So thank you, Jesus.
Alrighty, Jesus, getting a big shout out there. Thanks for your time, Ryan.
Thanks, man.
Let's see who
I
else
think
we
that
can
was
get.
kind of a troll there, but pretty funny.
Nonetheless, Jesus, big part of his operation. Let's see if we can get. Is Jeff Ramsdale still here? I don't see Jeff Ramsdale. Let's see, Cody Dutton. Here we go. Hey, Cody. So it's probably not quite what you wanted there, but second place finish, or you can't really. It's not too, or your third place finish. Yeah, it's not too bad. Could you walk us through those last couple of laps?
I'll take third. Started to race seventh and drifted to the back. Tried to stay out of trouble and kept the car fairly clean. Had a little bit of splitter damage, so I didn't have quite the speed I needed there at the end of the race, and just give it all we had. Made a couple of decisions last couple of laps of swerving out of line and who to work with, and just didn't play my cards right. But we'll be back for the next one.
Now, if there's one thing you could have from that last couple of laps back, what would it be?
I probably would have pushed the 66 on around to the backstretch and pulled out and tried to make a run at him. I pulled out going into the tri-oval, taking the white flag, so probably made my move way too soon. So that's just something to keep in the bank for next time.
Alrighty, Cody. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
I got some friends watching the race. My good old buddy Jake Phipps with Raceway U Car 2 driver. He's watching and learning a little bit from this. We'll try to get him up in the iRacing ranks. So thank him, thank Budweiser, and all my sponsors on this Chevrolet SS, and had a good time.
Alrighty, thank you for your time.
Yep, y'all have a good one.
You too. And then we'll bring in our winner here, the man, the guy bringing home the $15 and the game, and all the other little things associated with winning an event like this. Blake Reynolds in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Not too bad. We saw an interesting last couple of laps. What did it for you?
I teamed up with the 2 car. We had a plan with about 10 to go, and we didn't think it would work out with the 12 pushing me on that final restart. But then I faked out the 12. 2 got my bumper, and I'm surprised he didn't pull out. Or if he did, I blocked him. Didn't know.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of trickery getting you two guys lined up, but nonetheless, amazing job getting it lined up. Now, I got to ask, what game are you going to pick?
I got Age of Empires 2.
And that's what one of our lucky viewers got as well, or is going to get. Apparently, that's a pretty good game, then, I take it.
I've heard from Brennan, especially. That's about it.
Well, alrighty, your pocketbook's $15 fatter, and got a new game associated with that. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for this win?
I'd like to thank my parents for giving me the life that I have so that I can have 250 balls to win this race.
An entire 250. His parents must be God then. So thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
And we'll bring the man behind it all, if we can. Oh, actually, we can't bring down Brennan, so looks like that's going to be it for the post-race interviews. Again, that was the I Got Ballz 250 live on HVMP, flag to flag. Glad to have you guys watching. Glad to have Brandon Lambert alongside me in the booth. Big thanks to Brennan McGee and the guys putting these on for inviting us to broadcast this for them. And So for everyone here at HVMP, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.